Yes, I am new to the area. I just purchased a home recently in Springfield Estates. I am very concerned for the property values. I'm a realtor, so I can tell you what that's going to do to our properties. I'm also an animal owner. I know how that's going to affect the animals. I've lived in areas where there's been loud music before, and bluegrass isn't particularly my type of music. So having said that, I'm going to be forced, if this does go in, to be listening to something constantly that isn't to my liking. So I just wanted to say that, and also traffic is a concern as well. The speed limit obviously is what it is, but now you're going to add large RVs to that, and we're going to have many more accidents and many more people filling up our cemetery.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. Is there anyone else that...
Sonny Borden.
Okay. Good evening, Sonny.
Come over there, you're next.
Well, I guess I'm gonna be on the other side of the aisle for a little bit.
Right.
Me and my wife have been RVing for about 40 years now. We've been in every state except 2 in the entire country. We've been at a lot of mobile home parks, and every one of them have been decent people. I've never met anybody anywhere. They might drink a little beer. I have never experienced any drugs or marijuana or things like that. And what I have experienced right here in Reno is this outfit down here on the Dadgum Creek that I can't get any cooperation for. They're filling up the Dadgum Lake with sand, wrecking my property values, and the city doesn't do a dadgum thing about it. It's been going on for about 15 years now. I'm a heck of a lot more concerned about that than having a little RV park with a little entertainment that I'd like to maybe partake of a weekend or two. And I don't really see, wait a minute, Joey.
Sonny, are you addressing me about a police matter? You should be
No, it's
addressing...
not police. No, it's not police. This is your matter. I talked to you about this 3 or 4 years ago.
I have talked to a gentleman in Fort Worth, and we are working with FEMA to get somebody down there to do something, but it is kind of a touchy thing, and I don't know why, but it is. But
This has been going on for 20 years now.
Yes, I understand.
I would a whole lot rather see a nice RV park go down here with a little nice entertainment. Because like I say, I've never met a bunch of scabby people. Everybody's been nice people, and they drive expensive machinery. They're not just a bunch of squatter trash like I've got up and down my street that also can't get anything done for.
That RV park next to your house, though, you might think a little bit differently.
It's not very far from it. I've got one right down, 2 or 3, right down here on 730 north, and there's 2 or 3 of them, 730 south towards Weatherford. Never hear any complaints whatsoever. Nothing.
What if they play that type of music when you don't like the music?
Okay, hang on, guys, hang on, hey.
I understand your problem, I know, because I've got a similar, it's not an RV park, but it's another dadgum thing that you guys the heck out of my property. I know where you're coming from.
Let's bring it back up here. Mr. Leonard, you wanted to say something?
One, we were getting off subject, and 2,
Yes.
we need to keep with the format of the public hearing.
Yes, exactly. Is there anyone else? Thank you, Sonny. Yes, sir.
Just one question. Wasn't there a moratorium put on the RV parks and RVs in Reno? That's
Mobile homes, David's next
I
on.
don't think there was a moratorium.
Oh, I thought there was.
Uh,
I thought there was.
no, we did not get rid of them all.
So you don't disallow me? You don't disallow me?
We can't legally disallow things, folks. That's part of being with the planning and zoning, and we're having to act as the planning and zoning. And later on tonight, hopefully we'll be entertaining some applications for the P&Z to get that open back up. The problem is, when you go in and you sit down and you find out the reality of the fact is, well, can I talk this for a little bit? Okay. Here's the deal. The state comes in and tells you, you have to have a place for everything. Now, personally, I don't want sexually oriented businesses in my city. I don't think you do either. Nope. But I can't tell them, you can't come in here because I've discriminated against them. I have to have a place for them to go. I might, say I don't want a mobile home in here, or a mobile home park, or say I don't want an RV park. I can't tell them they can't come in. I have to have a place for them to go. So we have areas in the city that is mobile home friendly, and we have other areas in the city that there are no mobile homes allowed. That's the wisdom of the state of Texas. We can't discriminate.
But it's all zoning, right?
Yes, it is zoning. We have to zone it, but we have to leave an area for these things. Now, obviously, you have to be careful where you put some things. Yes, ma'am?
I have another question, just thinking about it. With this influx that we're supposed to have where it was 38 to now like 128, I'm a mother and all the other moms around here, and in Stribling, in Springfield Estates, we've got a lot of kids. How are we gonna monitor what people are coming in and out of our communities? And what, I don't want the possibility of our little kids running around of kidnappings, pedophiles, anything, both ways.
You all have made extremely valid points, and I do understand your concerns. Is there any, are there any, let's bring it back this way, folks. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Hey, are there any other questions, any other comments? Yes, sir.
One comment I have is that we don't have that large of a police force. If they end up with 100 and something plus pad sites in there with concerts going on, it's gonna tax our police force, or we're gonna have to hire more.
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
And just one other thing, there was talk about being able to have like emergency vehicles turning around. I'm afraid where it's at behind my house, it's not wide enough to have an emergency vehicle turn around. A fire truck could not turn around back there with RVs parked there, I do not believe.
Okay. Oh, we still have people? Oh, I'm sorry, yes, go ahead.
Okay, David Hall of 1718 North Cardinal Road.
Mayor, City Council, I lived in this wonderful city, this nice community since 1995, under a different council. And at that time, when my double-wide modular home was moved in, we were told that we were the very last mobile homes allowed in this community under the rules of that city council. Now, I understand the necessity of having those around, but I also know from my own previous experience that when you have little communities like that, not everyone is as concerned about keeping their property up where it doesn't look like a trash heap.
It's true.
As some other folks are. So that was part of my concern. And like it's been mentioned before tonight, you know where I retired from. And in my years in law enforcement, we saw more problems out of those areas, even in the country, than we normally had on any given night anywhere else in the county. But thank you very much.
Thank you.
Elena Baxter, Springfield Road.
Lena. Yes, ma'am.
Hello, Mayor, City Council. I really wasn't planning on talking, but I got a little excited. So I just kind of came down here tonight to see what kind of proposal was going to be in the works for the RV park. I had heard about it at our church, and so I thought I'd see what the proposal was. But my biggest concern is that there's not a proposal. And so I've been here for 12 years. My parents and I and my husband and our family, we have plots at the cemetery there. We're invested in this community. We live out in the country like most people do, so we can sit out on our back porch at night and watch the stars, listen to peace and quiet. If we didn't enjoy that, we'd live in a city, a real city, like Fort Worth or something like that, you know, where you got 5 feet between you and your neighbor, and you can hear them arguing and all that, okay? My husband and I have been RVing for about 12 years now. I've been to some really nice RV parks. So let's just assume for a moment that it's gonna be a really nice RV park. Let's just assume that. Let's just assume there's really nice RV folks coming in there and all that, okay? Let's assume that for a minute. It's still gonna bring a lot of noise, a lot of light, and you're still gonna increase your population during these bluegrass events to maybe even double of what you have now. Do you have the infrastructure to support that kind of population? Even if it's just for 3 or 4 days on a weekend, a couple times a year? Because I've been out to Texas Motor Speedway a whole bunch. And Fort Worth's a big city. And there's a lot of police officers working there besides just Fort Worth. Fort Worth has to actually get people from the county to help and from the highway patrol to help. And I know that's a different situation, there's a lot more people there, but I'm just giving you an example of the kind of influx of population just for a few days and what it can do to a small community. So I just beg you to please consider, do you have the infrastructure in place? I saw that Jesse here made sergeant, I think that's awesome. But what, didn't you say you have like 3 police cars?
Yes.
That's not even enough for probably, I mean, really, you're probably wanting more right now anyway, and that's without this influx a couple times a year, or 4 times a year, or however many. And so another thing you might want to consider is maybe putting this off until Mr. Nelson there has a real plan. You know, a businessman comes in here and has a model and shows you, this is what I'm going to do, this is the events, blah, 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 this is our plan. That might be something to consider. But right now, he's wanting you to just zone it so he can just do whatever is all up in here. And we don't know what that is because he doesn't have a plan. So that's all. That's just some things I'd like y'all to please consider.
Understood.
Okay, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
We only have 15 more speakers. No, I'm only kidding. That's it, man. That's it.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you again, is there anyone who, I will be here till you quit talking, so, yes, sir.
I live down 29 Jaybird Lane down there.
Uh-huh.
I pull a horse trailer. I pull a 36-foot horse trailer.
I feel your pain.
It's hard enough for me to get into my driveway with what traffic we got. And sometimes I have to pull to the other side to get in, if I come in from the 199 side. And if you got that many RVs coming in, granted, you're not gonna have 40 a day, every day, but that weekend that you do, how you gonna slow these guys down?
Yeah.
Understood.
You know, I mean, you got 3 officers here, they can't do it. Is he gonna hire the highway patrol and the sheriff's department to come out here? Because somebody's gonna have to.
Yeah.
Because we can't do it here. We can't pay for all that. So he's gonna have to, and I know what it costs to get them out. And I don't think he's gonna make enough money to do that to help us. Because, like I said, we got too many people running too fast down that road. These guys can't keep up with it. Even if they did, you'd have to have a cop every 50 feet to keep them slowed down. That's my opinion on it. But I'm just saying, you got that many RVs coming in on a weekend, these guys can't keep up with it.
Understood. I pull a big trailer myself, and I know the pain of somebody pulling out right in front of you or stopping real fast, and you just can't stop like that. I mean, unless you want the horses in the back seat with you, they don't all fit. Okay, is there anyone else?
Mayor,
Before-
if I could just make a recommendation to Mr. Nelson.
Yes.
Mr. Nelson, you might want to open records the RV park regulations for Hood County. I know them because I wrote them. And I'm looking at your rules here, and sir, you just barely scratched the surface. I really don't think you understand what you're getting into and what's required. But if you open records, the RV regs, like I said, I wrote them. It took months to write them. And I think you might get a better understanding of what's going to be required to run a successful RV park, sir.
Okay,